All right, today we're going to get into something really fascinating from Arcana spirituality. We're talking about the hidden language that's right inside your own voice and what it can tell you about the different parts of your soul. So let me just ask you this. Have you ever noticed how your voice completely shifts throughout the day? Of course you have. We all do it. And most of the time, we don't even think twice about it. You've got that voice you use at work, right? It's probably a little more confident, a little more polished. It's the voice that kind of says, yep, I know what I'm doing. But then there's the tone you slip into with your best friend. It's way more relaxed, maybe you talk faster, and has this easy, melodic vibe that just screams comfort and trust. And of course, there's that super soft, gentle voice. You know the one. It's reserved for a child, your partner, maybe even your pet. See, these aren't just little quirks or habits. They're actually what you could call dialects of the soul. So yeah, let's dive into that. This whole phenomenon actually has a name in the Arcana spiritual framework. It's called Qhenarra dialect codeplay. And in this tradition, it's not seen as just some habit, but as something truly sacred. The whole point here is that Qhenarra, which literally means soul speaking, sees these vocal shifts as a deliberate practice. It's all about honoring the many different parts of who you are, just through the way you speak. It's kind of like a form of spiritual performance. And this idea of a sacred thread just nails it, doesn't it? It's not just about the words coming out of your mouth. It's about the energy, the intention, and which part of your soul you're choosing to let shine through in any given moment. So how does this actually work in practice? Well, the framework breaks it all down into 5 distinct modes. A great way to think of them is like the different colors on your own vocal palette. Okay, take a look at this. We've kind of touched on a couple of these already, right? The public voice is that professional one, and the intimate whispers for your loved ones. But there's more. The ritual dialect is that rhythmic, slower tone for sacred moments. Then there's the ancestral mode, a deeper, almost echo-like voice for telling stories and remembering your roots. And finally, you've got the shadow thread. That's that neutral, clipped, super-controlled voice we use when we need to protect ourselves, when we choose to hide our power. All right, let's go even deeper, because beyond the different modes you might use, Qhenarra suggests that each of us has an innate spiritual archetype. It's called a Qhenarra, and it shapes our natural tendency for expression. And to get a feel for your type, you can ask yourself a few things, like this. When you walk into a party, what's your first instinct? Do you kind of light up like you just stepped on stage? Or are you immediately scanning the room for a quiet corner to retreat to? Or how about this one? What's your relationship with silence? Is it sacred and comforting to you, or does it feel more like a lonely, awkward pause between sounds? Your gut answer to that says a lot about your core energetic nature. So based on your answers, you might find you're a divine extrovert. Now, this isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It means you're a natural amplifier of spirit. You don't perform for attention, you actually channel energy to create resonance and lift others up. Or hey, maybe you're a quiet, fiery extrovert. You've got all this passionate, fiery energy, but you're also very selective. You'd rather let your actions do the talking. And when you do speak, your words are powerful, precise. They land like warm, bright arrows. And then we have the shifting, or spectral type. You can think of this as the spiritual shapeshifter. You're incredibly fluid, moving easily between introversion and extroversion. You have this mirror-like empathy where you just effortlessly reflect and understand the tones and energies of people around you. You are a true master of dialects. Now, this is all great for self-discovery, for sure, but it's also a really powerful tool for building authentic trust with other people. And this is all based on what's called the principle of soul echo. Okay, this part is absolutely crucial because it draws a really clear line between something we all know, people-pleasing, and this sacred act of soul echo. See, people-pleasing is about mimicking someone else to perform or to hide yourself. It comes from a need for safety. But soul echo is about resonating to connect. It comes from a place of love, and it actually honors both voices in the conversation. And this all just comes together so beautifully in this Arcana phrase, Lu kumi velar nanakara. It means you speak me into peace. It perfectly captures that feeling of profound safety and understanding you get when someone truly attunes their voice to yours. So, at the end of the day, what does this all mean for you? Well, the biggest takeaway is this. Your voice is a mirror, and learning to really listen to it is one of the most direct ways you can listen to your own soul. I mean, your voice carries everything. Your mood, your memories, your joy, your hidden truths. That little tremble in your voice could be an echo of grief. That sudden shift to a formal tone might be a shield for your vulnerability. It is the sonic signature of who you are, right in that moment. So, what is it trying to tell you? If you want to start exploring this for yourself, here's a super simple place to begin. Just ask yourself, of all the different voices you use, which one feels the most authentic? Which one feels the most like coming home to yourself? And then maybe go a little deeper. Do you ever use your voice's armor, like putting on a cheerful tone to mask that you're sad? Or using a clipped logical tone when you're feeling emotionally raw? Just becoming aware of when you do that, that's the first huge step. But listen, this is so important to remember. Using a protective voice or a false dialect is not a moral failing. It is not a betrayal of your true self. More often than not, it's a sacred act of survival. It's a way your soul has learned to keep itself safe. And that deserves honor, not judgment. Which brings us right to this powerful and profound final thought from the Arikana tradition. Nava vare ki lasa, nava vare ki Qhenarra, which means, I honor what I hide, I honor what I reveal. And really, it's an invitation to accept every single part of your expression, the masks and the true face, the whispers and the roars, as equally sacred parts of your journey.